Hello everybody and welcome back to Chasetown FC TV. As you can see, the studio layout behind me is new and improved, and we've worked on setting up the t-shirt behind me and the club badge as well over there, so that's new and improved. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. We're going to be discussing the history of the club and going through the foundations and how the club was formed really, and how it's developed over the years. The club was actually founded in 1954, and it was called the Chase Terrace Scholars back in the day. And the side actually were involved in the Cannock Youth League, so they were involved in that district in the region, and they remained there until the season of 1958 to 1959, and then they moved to the Litchfield League, and they finished third in their debut season in like the late 50s going into the early 60s. And then as we move through into the 1970s and in the 72 to 73 season, they were admitted to the West Midlands Regional League, and they changed their name to Chasetown FC, what we know today, and that's always been affiliated with the Scholars. So that's a bit of the brief history, like the founding of the club. In those first few years, I'd say the first sort of 20 years were quite pivotal really, because those years are what got the club up and running and formed it into what it is today really. Larry Percival was the first ever manager in the newly reformed Chasetown FC, and he was in the history books really, because he managed to win them their first ever title as a manager. So he'll go down as a club legend, I'm sure. And in 1983, we actually moved to the Scholars Ground, and it was a big change really at the time for the club. It's a capacity ground of 2,000, so it was a new accommodation for us, and we had to obviously try and bed ourselves in and get settled and start playing football in a new ground and kick on from there. In the 2005 to 2006 season, we reached the first round of the FA Cup, and that was broadcast on Match of the Day Live on a Sunday lunchtime, and there were 3.2 million people that actually tuned in to watch that game against Oldham Athletic, and 1,997 supporters also attended that game. So you can get a feel for what that meant for people at the time, and like the local people of Burntwood and Chasetown. You can really kind of see the appeal to that game, because we never really had anything like that in our history, and it was kind of a momentous occasion really in the club's history. We also lamented ourselves into FA Cup history in the 2007-2008 season, where we defeated Port Vale. They were playing in League One back then, and that was a second round replay where we managed to overcome them in the end. And then we played Cardiff in one of the club's biggest games they've ever had really in that same season, and we recorded a 2,420 attendance on that day, and they were playing against the likes of Robbie Fowler, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Trevor Sinclair as well. So those sort of players from Cardiff, like the Bluebirds, coming down to like the Scholars and vice versa in the second round replay, that was incredible really, to play a team of that sort of feat back in the day, about 10-12 years ago now. Yeah, so I'd say those two results in particular were definitely remain in folklore history really for Chasetown. And that brings us up to date really. In the past sort of few years we have been on the cusp of like the playoffs, and we finished 7th in the 2015-16 season. It was a former Rugby Town boss, Dave Stringer. He nearly like led us to the playoffs, and we've been in the same league really, in the same division. So I just wanted to give everybody a brief history, and I thought it would be quite an interesting video just to delve into the past and inform you guys, inform the viewers what the club is built on and what it's become over the years. And Chairman Mike Jordan has done a fantastic job, and I really wish all the lads the best tomorrow in our game against AFC Telford at home in the second FA Cup qualifying round. So yeah, cheers guys, thank you.